Hey, just in addition to the video I just uploaded, I was thinking as I rewatched it to make sure the video and audio meshed, I was thinking of some examples actually that I know that I didn't completely process. For instance, just right here in this town, this house that I'm packing up is not really where I spent the most of my time. So if I think about it, actually, the commercial building where I had the store that I ran is really where I felt was home. I made that place mine because I lived there all the time, you know, I was always there. And I do remember being emotional when I closed it down in the end of January. It's only been a couple of months. I do move on very quickly once I feel that I've closed a chapter. I feel like it's completely in the past. But this particular thing where I closed down the store and I completely cleared out all of our things basically on my own, with a couple of friends helping, swept the floor and even mopped it. You know, I felt like I was saying goodbye to my home there, much more than I feel it here. And I actually spent the next couple of months having dreams and nightmares about the place, feeling that I hadn't actually completely closed that chapter because I did it very quickly. I came back from Christmas vacation and spent the next 2 weeks closing the store that I'd had open and been running for the last year and a half. So it was very quick, and I had a lot of things to do in a very short period of time, and I don't think that I actually had the time I needed to process. I was in a hurry for certain reasons, but in other ways I wish I had taken more time, because I feel like something's unfinished. I keep dreaming, or I was dreaming, that I forgot something, that for some reason I'm back in the building and I'm not supposed to be there because I've already turned the keys in, so why am I here? You know, what have I not finished? Why? I feel kind of guilty for being here because it's not mine anymore, but it feels still connected to me. So that's just an internal struggle that I have when I don't say goodbye properly for any particular reason. And so then I just went back in my mind also to the home that we had in Georgia before I went out on my own. I was very attached to this particular home, and you know, for reasons that we couldn't control, we had to let it go. And to some extent, I did take part in the packing up of the home and moving out all of the equipment and stuff. And I had already moved out into my own apartment before the final closure of the home went down. But it was in bits and pieces. And so I've always felt slightly chaotic, and I've never quite been able to let go of that time and place. Partly because I was so attached to it, and also because everything happened very quickly, and I had a lot of other obligations which didn't allow me to just basically spend the month that I would have needed to go around to the different places in our 10 acres and you know, to each room and just spend the time that I needed. But it wasn't something that I could do. You know, I didn't really have the time, and so, you know, it just happened. And I wasn't actually able to let that go for the last couple of years, but when I went home for Christmas this year, I actually drove by the home, and I think I didn't realize that it could actually do that, but just driving by and seeing that it was not actually vacant, knowing that someone was actually living in it, and it looked, you know, well kept, and the grounds looked like they were being loved, you know, by a gardener of some kind. I think I was able to let it go, and I was happy, you know. I could let it go into good hands. All those years I'd been thinking in the back of my mind, you know, is it vacant, you know, is it empty, is it lonely, kind of. I feel very connected to some places, and I almost feel like they have personalities. So, find the psychologist. I'm a freak. But I just wanted to share that with you because it is very emotionally disturbing for me to have to say goodbye too quickly, to not feel that I actually closed that chapter, or did not even realize that I didn't properly complete the process that I needed to simply move forward and never think about it again, because I can do that in a lot of ways. But there are a few chapters that I didn't quite finish, and I've never quite been able to move on until I get that closure. So I don't know if I'll ever get the closure for the store. I think over time it's just faded into the background. But, you know, if you're the same way as me, don't worry, you have company. If you're not, and you think I'm nuts, then, you know, I don't know what to tell you. But I just want to share that so that if you are like me, you won't feel like you're alone anymore. And also to give a kind of an example for my previous video. So, this is already 6 minutes. I'm gone, I promise.